Hey, well, it's great to see everybody on this beautiful Saturday afternoon. And let me just tell you, one thing that's especially great is to see all of these college students. Yeah. What do you think? You know, 4 years ago, there was not a supporter of John McCain that you could find on any college campus across Virginia, and it is awesome to see our college students standing up for our values, standing up to try and help elect Mitt Romney as President of the United States. And they're not just standing up, they are traveling all over the state. I understand that there's a group from UVA that got in cars, got in vans, and went down to Virginia Beach this weekend to help canvass and knock on doors for our great Congressman Scott Ridgel down in Virginia Beach. And I've got a son, but I have to tell you, he's at Virginia Tech. But in a display of intercollegiate unity, those Wahoos and those Hokies got together, and they're all down there in Virginia Beach knocking doors together, and Sam's down there with the Wahoos and Rory and everybody else. So it is great to see the enthusiasm that's been generated among young people and folks our age, folks all over Virginia. We are revved up and we are ready for change. And I'm here to tell you that we have a guy in our governor's mansion who has done more than just about anybody in Virginia to show Virginians what conservative values mean. Show Virginians what conservative values and running our state government means, how we can do it better, how we can do it more efficiently, how we can live within our means. Bob McDonnell has been an example. He has traveled the country. He has shown people across America what Mitt Romney can do if we elect him President of the United States. I'm proud to have worked side by side with Governor McDonnell, with your legislators, with Rob Bell and others. Bob has done a fantastic job, and he has taken this show on the road, working 7 days a week to try and spread this word and to try and make sure we do everything possible to elect our team to the White House. Please join me in welcoming greatest governor in America. Our Governor, Bob McDonnell.
Thank you very much, Senator. Good afternoon, Charlottesville, Albemarle, Nelson Green. You guys ready to win? Yeah! That's great, because that's all you've been doing out here for about the last 3 years is winning. How about that great job with Robert Hurt? 2 years ago, nobody thought we could win in the 5th District. President Obama personally came here to campaign for his opponent, but you all did such a tremendous job. You got it done, and we're going to send him back for another 2 years with your help here in just a couple more weeks. I want to thank Senator Obenshain. He does a great job representing you. He's carried so much for us on property rights, on criminal justice reform, small business development. He really has been a tremendous leader for the conservative cause, Mark, and thanks for your kind words. I appreciate it very much. I'm delighted to be joined by the most popular member of the McDonnell family today, the First Lady, Maureen. Actually, that's actually not even true, because how many of you went to the convention? Okay, not very good. How many of you watched the convention? Okay. How many of you saw my daughter help to introduce John McCain? A couple of you, maybe? Well, after she introduced John McCain on Wednesday, I spoke on Tuesday. People came up to me and said, you know what, you gave the second best speech in your family. And so I feel a little deflated after that, because my daughter did such a good job. But we had a great time down there and getting Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan nominated, and I think came back with a lot of energy and enthusiasm. And let me just remind you of what you've already done, and then I'll talk about the road ahead. In 2009, you did a great job for us here, and especially in Albemarle and Green and Nelson, where after just a year after Barack Obama won by 7 points in Virginia, you helped me and Bill Bolling and Ken Cuccinelli win by anywhere from 16 to 18 points statewide. Thank you for what you did for us then. And then I mentioned 2010 in Virginia, we picked up 3 new congressional seats, including your great Congressman Robert Hurt. And then last year, you reelected Rob Bell, and you got the largest number of Republicans in the House of Delegates in the history of Virginia. 68 Republicans now in the House, took back the Senate with an effective governing majority. So I'm telling you, you're on a roll. But we got one more to go. And this is the big one. And let me just tell you, you can sleep in December. Sleep is vastly overrated, okay? But for the next 55 days or so, truly, I think the future of the United States of America hangs in the balance. And you got to ask yourself when you leave here, what kind of America do you want and how hard are you willing to work for it? Do you want to have what we have now, which is the status quo, which is a big government, high tax, high regulation, entitlement society full of guarantees for people? Or do you want what's always been the secret of America for the last 2 centuries, which is an opportunity society where you work hard, you dream big, you play by the rules, you pursue opportunity, you don't make excuses, you work together in a community, you can be anything you want to be in America, the sky's the limit. That's what we believe, and that's, I call that the Reagan, Romney, Ryan view of America, the American dream. And so you see the difference. Isn't it funny, the difference? You know, Mitt Romney comes to Virginia, he talks about the American dream. Barack Obama comes to Virginia and he says, if you have a business, you didn't build it, somebody else made that happen. It's amazing. Joe Biden comes to Virginia and says, hey, it's great to be here in North Carolina. So, you know, those guys, they just say the darndest things in Virginia, don't they, Chairman Stewart? I mean, they're just unbelievable when they come to Virginia. So we want them both back, you know, for different reasons. But you know that this election comes down to about 6 states. And you know you live in one of them. And both candidates have come to Virginia and say, if I don't win Virginia, I won't be the next president of the United States. I hope you'll make that happen for Barack Obama. That's one promise we want to help him keep. There's a lot at stake. And despite all the glitz of those speeches, and despite all the promises that we continue to hear, and they're the same ones this year they were 2008, which I'll tell you something from the president, is we are in deep trouble in this country. We have the greatest country on earth, the best military, the best healthcare system, the greatest entrepreneurs. But if they don't have a friendly set of policies coming out of Washington, people can't achieve what this great country can do and can achieve. And that's the problem. You look at that Democratic Convention week, speeches every night, all talking about the great things the president has done. But on Monday of Convention week, you saw that gas prices hit the highest Labor Day number in the history of the American Republic. On Tuesday, the national debt hit $16 trillion. $6 trillion of new debt under this president, far and away the largest amount of debt in the history of the American Republic. The president gives his speech Thursday night. We wake up Friday morning and we found out that unemployment is over 8% for 43 straight months. When the president says if you just pass this stimulus, just pass these bailouts, unemployment will never go above 8%, and of course it's been above 8% every month of the presidency of Barack Obama except for his first month. Now listen, because we have Democrats and Republicans working together in Virginia, we're down to 5.9%. We've had 3 surpluses in a row, but that's because we're doing things differently in Virginia. Republican governors are doing things differently than the Democrats. But I can tell you, this president has undermine the energy industry in Virginia, coal, natural gas, and nuclear, making it harder and harder for them to produce energy. And that's why, one of the reasons we've got the higher gas prices. Won't let us drill off the coast of Virginia, even though we've got vast natural resources. Has continued to layer new taxes and regulations on the people of Virginia, $500 billion worth of them in that health care mandate alone. $2.2 billion in unfunded mandates just in that health care mandate alone, about $12 billion of mandates in other bills that he has passed. And so this is not the right direction. You know it, and most Americans, according to all the polls, know it. This country is not on the right track. We are the greatest country on earth with the most entrepreneurial people, with the greatest vision that embrace the American dream even still today, after 236 years since Mr. Jefferson wrote those immortal words in the Declaration of Independence. But you can't do it if you don't have a pro-business, pro-growth, limited government, low-tax vision in Washington. So the president has worked hard. He has tried. But ladies and gentlemen, his policies have failed. And no matter how many great speeches you get, or how many good campaign commercials. The facts are where they are. People are hurting in America. 23 million people have no access to the American dream because they're unemployed or underemployed. And so that's where you come in. We need you. We need you to get that message out all over Central Virginia. You can make a difference. I tell you what we've got going for us this time is Governor Romney's doing a good job raising money. We're going to be in a better position there. But I tell you, the enthusiasm and the work of the grassroots, the phone calls, the door knocks, the signs are vastly better than 2008, and I think vastly better than what the Democrats are doing right now. In a close election, you know the drill. You make the difference. You really do. I can tell you what happened. I mean, 2 months out, I was in a very close election. It was just about a dead heat. And then our volunteers started really gearing it up in Virginia. We had people coming in from around the country, and we started to run away with it because of the grassroots effort. So I've come to ask you and plead with you, make a difference. Get out of your comfort zone. Freedom isn't free. Those kids that go to Iraq and Afghanistan, like my daughter did 7 years ago, that brought in those first free elections, that are standing up for the cause of freedom, these kids are willing to fight for the cause of freedom for people they don't even know because they love those principles of America so much. So it's not too much to ask you for these last 55 days, and I know I'm going to be doing it, and Bill and Ken and all of our legislators and Mark and Corey and everybody else that's here, they're going to be doing everything they can. So we're asking you to get all of your friends and neighbors. If you own a business that you built, get out of your comfort zone. Talk to your suppliers and your customers and your vendors and tell them that this is important to your company, to your bottom line, that Mitt Romney get elected and George Allen get elected and Robert Hurt get elected. Tell them that we have a sea change that needs to be made because the status quo simply isn't acceptable. So I've come to ask you to do that and then to thank you. The grassroots of our party really will make a difference. It's going to be a very close election. There's going to be little spikes up and down. There's 3 debates or so that are going to take place, and those will affect the outcome a little bit. But ultimately, this is going to be such a close election. And I believe as Ohio and Florida and Virginia go, so goes the nation. And as those turnouts go, so goes what's going to happen to the cause of freedom around the world. You need strong leadership. I think the events of this week have shown us that. You need to be having people that are willing to stand up for those traditional American values and we're willing to export democracy and stand up for our principles around the world. I think Mitt Romney can do that and will support our troops in a big way. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to let you get back to work. And I know that the Who's were down 21-7 when I drove up, so you got some football to watch too. I know you got a lot of rooting to do to get them back on track. I got 2 boys that are here, and I know they're rooting hard for them. This is a very important part of the state. You did so well here the last couple of years. We need a bigger turnout than normal, and we need to have a higher percentage of the votes for Romney and Ryan and Allen and Hurt than we've had in the past. So listen, I trust you to get the job done. I've seen you in action the last couple of years. The reason that I'm privileged to stand here as the 71st governor is because of so many people here and so many like you that just really were willing to sacrifice immensely of your time and your talent in order to get us elected. So Maureen and I are going to be doing everything we can these next 55 days. I tell you, you're going to see Mitt Romney and Paul Ryan here a lot. They know how important it is, but they're buoyed by the fact that so many of you are willing to work this hard. So God bless you. Keep up the good work. 55 days or so of hard work, and we'll have a new president. God bless you. Thank you very much.